Hafaday and welcome. The Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture is now called to order. Today's Wednesday, June 22, 2022. The time is 11:30 a.m. In compliance with the open government law, notices for this virtual public hearing were published in the Guam Daily Post on Wednesday, June 15, and again on Monday, June 20, 2022, and posted to the Government of Guam's public notice portal and live streamed via the Guam Legislature's YouTube channel. Notices were also disseminated via email to all senators and all main media broadcasting outlets. There's one agenda item for today, that's Bill 226-36 COR, introduced by V. Anthony Ada, an act to add a new section 715P to Chapter 7, Title 1, Guam Code Annotated, relative to defining working days. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senators Chris Duenas, Senator Anthony Ada, and Senator Joanne Brown. Thank you, colleagues, for being here this morning. And Senator James Moylan. I'll now invite the sponsor to introduce the bill. Senator Ada.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to have public hearing on Bill number 226-36, a simple but significant piece of legislation. In nearly every piece of legislation that has been enacted during my tenure in the legislature, the term working days or business days has been used where time periods of less than 1 month are applicable. We recently enacted significant notice requirements to the open government law that makes the use of these undefined terms challenging to enforce. We can agree that when the term working days is written into legislation, we always mean Monday to Friday except holidays. The problem is that nowhere in the law is this defined. In GPD, GFD, DOC, and GMH, and the public utilities, for example, every hour of every day is a working day. Without a definition, the tolling of days for these agencies is shorter than agencies that are open Monday to Friday except holidays. I hope to hear I was hoping to hear some testimony on this piece of legislation, but if my colleagues have any input to the legislation, I'm welcome to hear it and get input from my colleagues as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. On the bill, if any of my colleagues have any questions or comments, Senator Duenas? Oh, by the way, so we did invite the Office of the Attorney General. We sent notice to the public, of course, but we specifically invited the Office of the Attorney General to provide feedback on this bill. We have not received a response. So, and there's no persons signed up to testify today. So, Senator Duenas, you have the floor.
Jesus Masi, Madam Chair, and I'd like to thank the author for the introduction of the bill, and once again for the listening audience that may be joining us today during this public hearing. In the absence of testimony from any of the invited guests or any of the agencies to whom this may affect, particularly maybe the Department of Administration or those other agencies, or maybe other agencies that, or at least their departments that handle the definition of days for purposes of payroll and other things. And the reason why we're engaging in this dialogue discussing the bills is we're so fortunate to have our youth representatives with us under the Summer Youth Employment Training Program, and they're observing this process of testimony on bills. And so, Madam Speaker, as you did earlier on other bills that we have heard today, you kind of went into what the bill does. So for the benefit of our listening audience and also the students that are, or the young people that are here today, the section 2 that's being added basically would read as follows. Working days and business days mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, unless any of said days, supra, are Government of Guam holidays as defined by the Section 1000A of 1 GCA, or unless expressly stated otherwise. So as the author mentioned, we have always been working under the understanding that the law is, and that there is a clear definition of working days, and in the senator's research, there is not. So for the purposes of sometimes we use terms in the legislature, codify, or to kind of basically place into code, place into law information. A lot of times when we say codify, we're usually taking a piece of, or a law or other legislation that may be like under federal code, but not in local code. In this instance, it's actually to add a clear definition and define it in the law. So that's what's happening here as I read the section. And so we'll hear from our colleagues. This looks pretty simple and straightforward to me. And so I'll continue to listen, but it seems like, as the author said, something simple, but surprising to find that that's actually absent from our code in terms of a definition of working day. So I think it's sensible, and I look forward to hearing the debate, but at this point I'm inclined to support it, and hopefully it makes it onto the floor to kind of make sure that there is a legal definition in our law when it comes to saying working days. Once again, just for maybe your working knowledge as well, this really becomes very important when we do payroll, because this will determine, that definition and determination, really in terms of working days defined, may have an application whether or not overtime or any other type of specialty pays, payroll, or compensation is available. So that's my initial impression of it, and I look forward to hearing more discussion on the bill. Sidus Masi, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Brown?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I don't have too much comment. I think I certainly appreciate the efforts of Senator Atta in addressing this issue. I mean, certainly with regards to the open government law and the requirements for publication, things of that nature, it'd be very important that it's clarified, because some people still are not sure if it's a regular working day or does it include weekends, does it include holidays with regards to counting the days. And a number of years ago, I did introduce a bill that was passed into law that does set in place the public notice requirements of 5 days prior to a meeting, that notice be provided to the public, and then also 48 hours prior to that actual meeting or hearing occurring, that there would be a second notice provided to the public to have them aware or have notification that these meetings, or could be public hearings here at the legislature or commission's meeting, that the public would know when these meetings were occurring. And certainly we expanded further last year at this legislature with regards to the content of those publications, to be specific with regards to what issues are to be discussed during those meetings. So a simple bill, but nevertheless something that I think would provide clarification to all of us, including the public, on how we count working days. With that, Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to comment on this bill.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Moylan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank the author for the bill. Pretty straightforward. I think this will be helpful to our agencies, and I'm looking forward to the bill to move forward. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Sponsor, may close on the bill.
I'd like to just thank my colleagues for their input, and if any other additional testimony is awarded, that they go ahead and forward it to your office so that we can get this moving onto the session floor. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. And thank you again to my colleagues and those who are present today. There being no additional individuals to present further testimony, this committee will consider Bill number 226-36 COR duly heard. The public hearing is now adjourned. The time is 11:40 a.m. Sidus Masi, Therese.